For me, I'm still playing the blame game, Rosie. I don't know if you are. Like, I'm still befuddled. Not even a week later, we're sitting here. And granted, we knew this was coming as soon as they lost game three down 0-3. I think the statistics going into that was 199-4 in terms of teams that came back down 0-3 in a series. So that's the data, all the data you need to hear. But I think from the blame game perspective, in your opinion, who deserves the most blame for this Maple Leafs team and another crippling postseason exit? I get they won a playoff series, but still, the ultimate goal still haven't reached anywhere close to it.
It's the players that need to take the blame. They're the ones that are out there, and you put the pieces together and you coach them up, and there's only so much you can do after that as far as taking the blame for why those particular set of players didn't get it done. But when you got guys making, tens of millions of dollars on these massive deals, and they're capable of doing X because they've proven it, and they just don't do it when things get tough, that is completely on the players. I mean, you can only coach them so hard. You can't put the fire in a guy's belly. You want a guy where you have to kind of pull back on the reins a little bit because they're going crazy out there. They want to win so goddamn bad. You don't want players that you have to crack the whip on all the time. And it seemed like just about every core piece of that roster that they've built it around needed the whip cracked on them, or they needed to get shook and saying, fucking do something, because they just didn't. And they just stayed perimeter, and they didn't get that fire in the belly. They did not seem to get even remotely pissed off or intense. And that's on them. That's not on anybody else. You are a professional. You get paid to be here. I don't care if you're league minimum or if you're the top contract in the league. It's a privilege to play in that league, and you got to prove yourself every day. And these guys haven't proved themselves in the playoffs, and they've almost, the way they structure their interviews and things like that, I think has pissed enough people off in Leafs Nation who care about this team and have passion for where they're headed, because they're really not saying the right things. They're talking about, yeah, I'm going to decide I want to be here. I like to play here, and I think it's like, fuck, dude, who said we want you? What have you done for us? No one cares about trophies in the regular season and shit like that. We do not care. This team, this city, this market is dying for some playoff success. And all this group has given them in like 7 years is painful exits. Even though you got over the first round, that should not be the goal for a crew that's capable of putting up 115 points in the regular season, for a group of players that can show that they're that good at hockey, to just get over the hump of the first round. My goodness, that's not good enough. And they should know that, but it seems like it's been such old hat with going through the same narrative of playoff failures that it's like, it's almost been creeped in, that it's been accepted almost like, yeah, well, hell, it's like, fuck, man, it's 100% on the players. And the fact that all anyone talks about is Dubas and Keefe and stuff is a little bit concerning as far as what direction they're going to go, but the players just don't get it done. And that's the end of the line.
I agree with you. Like, my big questioning is, what else can Kyle Dubas do? What can Sheldon Keefe do? I guess there's always got to be a scapegoat, and I think ultimately that scapegoat will come to fruition, whether it's Dubas, whether it's Keefe, whether it's both. But the fact of the matter is, your core four, the guys you pay the big money to, 3 goals in 5 games, and more specifically, Austin Matthews, 0 goals in 5 games. John Tavares, 0 goals in 5 games. And that in there, lies sort of what happened in that series. On top of that, I've just had a big issue with people blaming the officials as the reason why the Leafs lost this series. Number one, okay, you get those power plays. You probably still don't score, because last time I checked, the well runs dry on the power play, this unbelievable power play. Remember when John Tavares joined? It could be the best power play ever. Well, number one, Edmonton still has a better peeper than yours. And number two, you don't score when it matters anyways. But I just couldn't get over the fact that people are pinpointing the refs as the reason the Leafs lost that series. No, look at your big boys.